Hello and welcome everyone to Cub Scout Network episode 8. I'm Mr. Richard.
And I'm Mr. Chris. We're really excited that you're here. We've got a couple awesome things we're going to get going right now.
Absolutely. We have two super huge important things that we are excited about. The first one is we are going into the 21st century and we have our brand new earpieces now. We are rocking earpieces like real professional reporters here. So we're super excited about that. And Chris, what else are we excited about on today's special episode?
Also with the earpieces, I have to admit, you think it's because we need them. It's actually so the technical director, John, will actually tell us to keep on task because Richard and I do not follow any type of script. Nope. So that's really what it is. He's talking now and telling us to get back on script. So sorry.
Yeah, the whiteboard behind his desk telling us and pointing at stuff isn't working anymore.
So
now he's in our ear.
Our second thing is I'm very happy to report that we have the National Director of Cub Scouting, Mr. Anthony Berger, who's with us that we would like to interview, and we want to bring him in now. So Anthony, welcome here to the Central Florida Council. And like we said, we're really excited where we have the National Director of Cub Scouting for the National Council, Boy Scouts of America, Anthony Berger, with us here. A quick intro on Anthony. I actually had the pleasure of working for Anthony here in the Central Florida Council. He served as a district executive, senior district executive, council program director, and then the director of support service here in the Central Florida Council before he was promoted to be a scout executive in Georgia. And now he's the National Cub Scout Director for the National Council. So, Anthony, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
We're real excited. I know this is Richard Fallon. He's one of our district directors.
I'm a huge fan of D.E. Richard. I follow him on Facebook. I love his posts. So, yeah, I'm a big fan.
Awesome. Thank you. So we want to just get right into the questions then, Chris?
I think we should. Yeah, definitely.
All right, Anthony. So we'll start with a really good one. During right now we have all this COVID-19 craziness happening. Have you seen any best practices from across the country of what some Cub Scout packs have been doing?
Yeah. First of all, before I answer that, I want to thank everyone who's watching for what they're doing. Because right now, if you're providing Cub Scouting, you certainly are going above and beyond to make that happen. Because in this environment, it does take that extra effort of creativity and extra amount of energy to provide scouting to your family and to your community. And so I just really want to reach out and say thank you for those that are watching, because I know that you're doing that.
From us here too, thank you.
Yeah, we all agree. This has been a crazy year, and it's all the best volunteers in the country.
Absolutely.
And so with that, when you've got the best people, right, you creatively solve problems. And so I don't think there's a silver bullet out there as far as, if you do this, it's going to work. What I've seen happen universally that's working for people is that when the pack leadership is working together as parents to come up with the solutions together, instead of the Cub Master trying to take it on their own, or the pack committee chairs trying to take it up on their own, they open up the dialogue and they learn that it's okay as the Cub Master or committee chair to say, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I need help, and to reach out for that help. Sometimes they get that through social media, or they get it right there with their parents. And everything from drive-through courts of border of blue and golds to virtual Pinewood derbies. We saw that earlier this year that people were doing virtual Pinewood derbies. I guess the big thing is to make sure that you're practicing social distancing and keeping kids safe. But, you can only do Zoom so much, and you can only do virtual so much. If you have the opportunity to do something outside, those who do, they find that the parent that they thought had dropped off and aren't replying to their messages come out. And so, the biggest hurdle that we have is also the biggest plus, which is no one's doing outside activities now either. And parents they've got cabin fever, the kids got cabin fever, they're looking for a reason to get out. And so if the pack gives them that reason to get out, and there's some fun stuff that is out there that is easy to do, that doesn't take a whole lot of planning, and it's easy to make social distancing, like fishing, right? And fishing, you may not know this, but nationally, kids that are Cub Scout age, both boys and girls, fishing always comes up in like the top 5 things that they like to do in the outdoors.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It is huge. You may not in Orlando, you got lakes everywhere, right? In Central Florida, and then of course you've got the coast. So there's some great opportunities there that PAX could do. And then once you get through that first event, right, huddle as a team and say, okay, what went right, what went wrong, what could we improve? Do the old thorns and roses evaluation of your event, and get to planning the next one. And when you make it fun like that, that's the only real silver bullet to the event.
And I know in your department, being the director of National Cub Scouting, you guys came out with this virtual den leader experience. Can you expand on that a little bit of what den leaders should use that for?
Sure. So it's all as we move and take all those administrative tasks that it takes to run any unit, a PAF or a troop or crew. We created Scout Book. And Scout Book, people just aren't used to how we do things now in IT, which is we do continuous improvement. So we use what's called an agile method of delivery. That simply means that Scout Book is not a finished product, and it never will be, because we're constantly evaluating how our users use it and what the next improvement ought to be based on that usage and feedback. So if you think back, I know Richard was probably in middle school, but when Google Maps first came out, right?
You're not far off.
It was like, oh my God, I don't need a map anymore, right? All I did was I put in address here to set me turn-by-turn directions, and then I print that out because I didn't have a device with me that I could take and watch and drive at the same time. But your experience with Google Maps today is amazing. It's almost, they've got augmented reality that they're working on. There's 3D mapping. It's crazy of how they didn't launch with that. They continually improve that product. So that's a real life example of how we are developing our software and our IT tools in scouting. So
it's great to hear that it's constantly expanding and going deeper and deeper into enrichment, and it's constantly improving. That's awesome.
Yeah, and if anyone missed last week's episode, we did a deep dive on the Den Leader experience, including showing the video introducing it. So make sure if you missed it last week, make sure you watch that video.
Right. So the Den Leader experience is the next evolution of Scout Book. It's not something that's separate from Scout Book. It is Scout Book. And so what we've done is, if you viewers didn't catch it, we essentially, you can plan your whole year of Cub Scouting. If you were to do that the old way, it would take probably 10 hours of just constantly writing out your plans, your meeting plans, gathering all the resources. We get that done for you in about 5 minutes, and you answer 4 questions. And all the meetings are pre-populated, super easy to move them around. But here's the cool thing that we just launched a couple weeks ago. So here's hot, fresh off the press, innovation.
Exclusive news update. Exclusive breaking news. Yeah.
Right. Because we actually talked about this as this. You may see this as a Brian blog pretty soon here. We made a connection. So there's 2 tools that work together. You've got Scout Book, and then you've got the Scouting app. Now, the Scouting app is the downloadable app that's in your Google Play or your Apple store. Well, that's where you're going to be able to see that. The Scouting app is for parents. It's not for leaders. It's not an admin tool. It is simply a window for parents to interact and see Scout Book for their child. That's all it is.
Okay.
And so since it's a native app, we can do more things with that and make the user experience much easier and flow better and just look better and just have a better experience with it. So now what we've just launched, an improvement, right? The next innovation is if you miss a meeting, a notice goes to the parent in Scout Book, but also they'll see it in their Scouting app that says make up meeting here. And you click on that, and it takes the parent to the resources they need to complete that requirement with their child.
That is awesome.
Oh, that's neat.
So now you think about if I have a virtual den meeting, I can schedule those den meetings, but then mark everyone absent and all the parents are going to get the materials they need to prep for the meeting
beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that is one way to use. We didn't develop it for that. We developed it so that if someone misses a meeting, they know that their parent and them can do it at home. And once they do it at home, the parent pushes a button, and all those requirements are updated and Scout Book as completed. So it's like virtually the parent signing their child's handbook, which parents in Cub Scouting can sign off on their child's advancement. So it's one less task that the den leader has to do to follow up with parents to find out if they did something at home or not.
That is really cool. That's a great feature to keep our families and den leaders and saving time and energy and all that stuff. That's a fantastic improvement. Is there anything else new and exciting that the national office is working on for our Cub Scouting that you want to release or give us a heads up or anything?
Secret stuff that'll only go to the Central Florida Council? That will never.
Yeah. No one's ever going to hear about this. So I'm happy to share that Lisa Wiley, who's our National Cub Scouting Chair, and our committee, and I, in fact, we have a committee member in your council named Scott Larson. Mm-hmm. He has been providing some great insight and leadership to our committee. What we're doing right now, and it's something that we should be doing all the time, which is like what we just talked about with IT, of that agile method and constant improvement. We are totally evaluating all of our Cub Scouting rank advancement systems and the Cub Scout program overall, and we're eliminating things that just don't make sense anymore, or the field doesn't do, right? That it doesn't make any sense to have this anymore because it's not 1945 when the requirement was written, right? So our goal is to make a program that you can explain to a parent in a brief couple sentences. So one of that is to clearly align required adventures with the aims of scouting, of citizenship, personal fitness, character, and citizenship. Did I double that? I didn't double that.
Citizenship's a good one to double, so that makes sense.
And then focus areas, the focus area of safety and reverence. And so you're going to see when we roll this out that it will make it so much easier to take a small pack that maybe only has 2 kids in a tiger den and 2 kids in a wolf den. And like, what do we do for a pack meeting? Well, by aligning these up, it's going to be super easy to see, oh, this is the citizenship required adventure. We can plan, and we're designing it so that you can plan a pack meeting around that activity, around that adventure.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah.
And so I'll give an example of the outdoors. We're not going to focus on camping. We know that's a hurdle for many of our scouts and many of our parents, right? Our single moms who join Cub Scouting, that's a huge fear, right? Camping? I'm not into that, right? That's not something that they're, so we don't want to make that a requirement, but we do want to get kids outdoors, right? That's a huge focus of ours. So getting kids outdoors can simply just mean taking a walk in your neighborhood. So we're talking right now about the way we write the requirement. We're going to avoid using the word hike, because taking a hike may invoke images of, oh, I've got to be out in the middle of the woods and I've got to go on this, I got to put a backpack on and all that kind of stuff. Instead of, look, we want kids to just be able to explore their neighborhood, and that could be an urban or rural setting, right? If a kid lives in downtown Orlando, right, there's things that he can be exposed to safely in that area. There is nature in downtown Orlando, right? No matter where, right? No matter where you are, there's going to be some form of nature, and doing activities like, so in that case, the whole pack could plan to take a walk, but what you do on that walk would be different based on your rank. So that's a very basic concept of what we're working with. The other is that we're looking at trying to expand the elective adventures to all the ranks, and giving that example of the fishing, we know is a hugely popular topic. So why is it that we only provide it to 3rd graders?
Yeah.
So we're looking at trying to expand like what we've done with Yo-Yo with the preview adventures. the yo-yo preview adventure and the protect yourself rules preview adventures, those cross ranks instead of just being a singular rank. And we're able to do that because it's on a digital format. So you'll probably see more stuff like that where it's accessible digitally, and that gives us the ability to be nimble and to be able to provide the program resource across the ranks.
Okay.
Yeah. I was actually talking to someone about that yo-yo adventure, the preview adventure, and their pack absolutely loved it. They said that was their favorite adventure of the whole year. So,
yeah.
That was cool.
It's kind of like the Walt Disney trick, right? Walt Disney created the park for parents and kids. It wasn't just for the kids. He wanted to make something fun that the parents would want to go to as well. And so yo-yo, turns out the parents love it just as much as the kids, because they're like they're working on it too, and they're trying to get it, try to learn the tricks too.
So it did leak out, and we had one very young scout who has this guy right here, and I think he calls him a potato robot. But they were wondering if we ever going to see a Cub Scout uniform that we could put on to one of these little guys. Would that work, you think? That we could try to work with?
Work.
I mean, let's be honest. I think we have a lot of people that like these things. And so we could get the Cub Scout uniform. That'd be cool, right? I mean, I'm just asking. So
I've got my Darth Vader one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Anthony didn't know we were going to ask that. We're trying to just ask him everything we can possibly. So we thought of,
Yeah, the Mr. Potato. Now it's not on the list of things to do, but you know what? We may have to add that now.
I think it'd be cool. So
the Darth Vader one's close enough because it is the Empire after all.
So that's true. So, so one last thing we'd like to ask you, Anthony, is what's your favorite story of scouting?
Going for a hard one to end it up.
Personally, that's hard. That is hard because it's like, okay, so I've got 2 kids in Scouts, right? And then I grew up in Scouts myself, so it's like personal one and then professionally. That's
how about
that's
personally?
Hard.
Do personally.
So a little factoid about me that probably has had the most impact is that the decision to work on summer camp staff in 1997. No, not 97. That would have been the summer of 1990 was the first year I worked summer camp staff. And I was worked as the assistant aquatics director. So our camp had an island where all the boats were the sailboats and then rowboats and canoes. And one of our assistant scoutmasters would take a couple of us out and sail, do races with his sailboat. And so I had that experience of sailing. So they asked if I would do it, and I was 18 at the time, just finished high school, wasn't sure what I wanted to do professionally. And so that exposed me to a DE who was the camp director, and got me excited about wanting to do this as a profession. And then the following years, I met my friends who are my lifelong friends. I've been in a fraternity, and I've got friends in a fraternity but these folks we have been constantly together throughout, and most of us have worked. Actually, all of us have either worked for or still currently working for the Boy Scouts today. And that's about, I think, 10 of us. And so that's my favorite scouting story, is just the fact that my really close friends are scouts. And that's lifelong friends. They are scouts. And that's important when things are getting tough, that you've got friends that will be there for you. So
Absolutely.
That would be my personal story.
That's awesome. I know I started my scouting career at Camp 2. And
me too.
Chris did too. So all 3 of us started at summer camp staff.
Understanding summer camp staff. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the best. We hope your family's safe and stays safe and healthy. And look forward to getting a lot of photos on Facebook or whatever of both of your kids advancing through the scouting ranks. So that's always cool. But thank you for everything that you're doing. And definitely looking forward to all those new innovative ideas that you guys are coming up with. So again, thanks for everything.
Yeah, thanks for taking some time.
Thank you guys. You guys are doing all the heavy lifting in the local council, and keeping volunteers motivated and energized. it's hard, right? No one's been through this before.
Right.
But you know what? We'll make it through.
Yes.
And because the values of scouting are universal truths, and we will figure it out, and we'll be stronger for it at the back end.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So
Well, thank you
again,
so much.
Anthony, thank you so much.
Wow, Chris, what a great interview. Anthony is inspiring. One of us, our local boys, coming out of the Central Florida Council here and going up to the National Director of Cub Scouts. That was awesome.
It was. So we want to, again, thank Anthony, thank all of you, like Anthony said, Richard and I said it too, but thank you all for everything that you're doing to help support Cub Scouting and make sure our Cub Scouts have a great adventure in whatever times that we're in right now. But we're looking forward to another great episode next week. Please tune in. And Richard, you always do the thing with the sharing.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and share as much as possible. And just a Gary update. Gary visited us outside.
He was outside the window.
Today, so
Yeah.
Gary is in the building. Hopefully he doesn't come inside because he's scary.
Yeah.
But with that, like, subscribe, share, and I will see you on the scouting trail.
See you guys. Thank you.